Time to design an engaging remote workshop. Your objective is to create a seamless experience. How do you design a seamless experience? First, you get the brief. Then, you can understand the context better, interview those that would be participating. Third, define objectives and desired outcomes. Define the agenda and the steps to deliver. And very important, who are you inviting? Think about the roles and responsibilities of those attending, and never forget to test the tech tools. When you're designing your seamless experience, you should think of how to make it relevant, what are the desirable deliverables, what actions will help you reach the goal, what's the plan B, something might go wrong, and how will people follow up. Don't forget about the invitation. It is key for a good experience. You should share the goal of the session, the information that needs to be gathered before, where they should submit the pre-work, what are the information that they need to share in advance, the tools that you're going to use in the session, the devices needed for the participants to join, and the link to join the call and what time it starts. When you're designing your seamless experience, explore the frameworks available and understand what works better for you. Adapt them, create your own templates, and build on them with time. A very important aspect to consider is timing. If we think that we'll have 5 minutes for participants to share, you shouldn't look just at the overall number. You need to understand that whenever a speaker changes, you need to add at least 30 seconds to the overall time. Here's an example of flow. You start with an intro, so you have check-in, objectives, agenda, etiquette, input. Then you diverge, you generate options, and you can use breakout rooms, for example. Then you converge, you summarize and narrow the options from group work. Then together you conclude, you take decisions and agree on the next steps. And then you finish the session with a checkout, a reflection, and feedback. And don't forget to help the participants navigate from problems to solutions. So, the session started. What now? Always have camera on and use visual collaboration. If your participants are not used to use tools like Mural or Miro, share your screen and allow them to visualize the progress. During the session, keep an eye on time versus plan and time box your activities. Mural, for example, has a timer that helps you do that. What is the intro? You should present yourself. Why are you here and why is it important? What is the plan and the agenda? How should I behave during this workshop? What do I need and how are we communicating during the session? You should use the check-in to help the participants understand how to use the tool and the exercises that you're going to be proposing next. For example, if you have planned a voting session, you can start with a voting check-in so they know how to do it. In this case, how do you feel? You identify the emoji and then you vote on it. The second part is to provide the input. So think about the experience and keep it to the minimum, just after checking. What is the context that you're working on? What is the challenge? What are you aiming for? After the input and context, navigate the participants through the planned interactions. You might use breakout room for exercises, then you can have questions so everyone answers at the same time, and you can use Slido or Menti.com for that. Here's an example of workshop that we had. And in this one, we used Slido, and in the same experience, we showed the results to the participants so we could build on the ideas shared. The discussions should be objective-oriented. You should ensure fair share of voice, so speak in rounds or in alphabetical or in the Zoom order, and be ready to adapt. Observe how participants react, and if the energy is down, suggest an energizer or a warm-up. We have examples here from Euro and Hyper Island. Ensure time for closure. Reaffirm what has been discussed and decided and make sure everyone is aligned on next steps. And don't forget to get feedback. You can ask for feedback at the end of the session using, for example, the model I wish I like, where you ask participants to reflect what was good, write them down on post-its, and also what could be better, what they wished was different. You can also send a questionnaire to understand if the session delivered to the objectives established and what could be improved in next times. Gather these pieces of feedback and take the time to reflect and learn from them, planning for improvements. We at Make Teamwork, we have a mural board with all the presentations we had and the feedbacks we gathered from them. Follow up with full transparency. Share the link to the mural session. Think about other artifacts from the session you have to share, like photos or screenshots of activities. Be clear about next steps, and also add what can the team work on after the session. For the curious, we actually did a webinar called Designing Engaging Remote Workshops. We're giving you the link, and for you to know, we used Mural, Zoom, Slido, and Session Lab as tech tools to support us to facilitate this experience. Here you can also see other tools that we use to facilitate workshops and try it yourself with your teams. And time for checkout. What was your biggest learning and insight from this lesson? See you soon.